He was a phantom, a ghost in the machine, a figure so elusive that he seemed to exist only in the digital ether, a shadow that moved through the wires, unseen but always felt. His name sent chills down the spines of tech giants and government agencies. The mere mention of his activities could cause a ripple of fear and anxiety, a reminder of the vulnerabilities that lay hidden within their systems. Kevin Mitnick, the world's most notorious hacker, was a master of deception, a digital Houdini who could slip through the tightest cybersecurity nets. His skills were unparalleled, his methods ingenious, and his ability to outwit his pursuers legendary. For years, he led authorities on a merry chase, exploiting vulnerabilities in phone systems and computer networks, leaving a trail of digital chaos in his wake. His actions were a cat-and-mouse game played out on a global stage, with each side constantly trying to outmaneuver the other. Mitnick's story is more than just a tale of cybercrime. It's a cautionary reminder of the power of curiosity, the allure of the forbidden, and the fine line between genius and obsession. His journey from a curious teenager to a wanted fugitive is a testament to the seductive power of technology and the dangers that come with it. His exploits expose the fragility of our digital infrastructure and the need for constant vigilance in an increasingly interconnected world. The breaches he orchestrated were not just technical feats, they were wake-up calls, stark reminders of the gaps in our defenses and the ever-present threat of cyber intrusion. But beyond the headlines and the hype, Mitnick's journey is also one of redemption, a testament to the transformative power of second chances. After serving time in prison, he emerged with a new perspective, using his skills to help others protect themselves from the very threats he once posed. Mitnick's fascination with technology began at an early age. As a young boy, he was captivated by the inner workings of electronic devices, spending hours disassembling and reassembling them to understand their secrets. Growing up in Los Angeles, he discovered the world of phone phreaking, a subculture of hobbyists who explored the intricacies of the telephone system. This underground community became his playground, a place where he could hone his skills and push the boundaries of what was possible. Armed with a mischievous streak and a thirst for knowledge, Mitnick quickly mastered the art of manipulating phone lines, making free calls and eavesdropping on conversations. These early exploits were more than just pranks. They were the foundation of a skill set that would later make him infamous. His early exploits were harmless pranks, but they hinted at a deeper fascination with the inner workings of technology and the thrill of bending it to his will. This fascination would drive him to explore the limits of what he could achieve, leading him down a path that would ultimately make him a legend in the world of hacking. As Mitnick's skills grew, so did his ambitions. He began to target more complex systems, breaking into corporate networks and government databases. Each successful breach was a testament to his ingenuity and a challenge to the authorities tasked with stopping him. The authorities, however, were not idle. They launched a massive manhunt, dedicating significant resources to tracking him down. The chase was intense, with Mitnick always staying one step ahead, using his knowledge of technology to evade capture. When Mitnick was finally apprehended, his trial became a media sensation. The courtroom was filled with journalists and spectators, all eager to see the man who had outwitted the system. His story was a blend of myth and reality, a narrative that captured the imagination of the public. Today, Kevin Mitnick is a reformed man. He has turned his once-feared skills into a force for good, educating others about the importance of cybersecurity. His journey from hacker to security consultant is a powerful reminder that even the most notorious figures can change, using their talents to make the world a safer place. As Mitnick delved deeper into the world of hacking, his skills grew more sophisticated. He started with simple pranks and minor intrusions, but his curiosity and ambition soon pushed him to explore more complex systems. The thrill of bypassing security measures and accessing restricted information became an addiction. Mitnick spent countless hours honing his craft, learning from every success and failure. His bedroom transformed into a command center, filled with computers, modems, and stacks of technical manuals. The glow of the screen became his constant companion, guiding him deeper into the digital abyss. He moved beyond phone phreaking, targeting computer systems and networks. The transition from manipulating telephone systems to infiltrating computer networks was a natural progression for Mitnick. He was no longer satisfied with just listening in on conversations or making free calls. The vast, interconnected world of computer networks offered a new playground with endless possibilities. Mitnick's targets grew in size and complexity, each successful hack boosting his confidence and reputation within the underground hacking community. One of his early targets was Digital Equipment Corporation, a leading computer manufacturer. DEC was a giant in the tech industry, known for its innovative products and cutting-edge technology. For Mitnick, breaching DEC's defenses was a challenge he couldn't resist. It was a test of his skills, and a chance to prove himself against one of the best in the business. The stakes were high, but so was the potential reward. Mitnick gained unauthorized access to DEC's computer systems, exploring their software and stealing valuable information. The breach was meticulous and calculated. Mitnick navigated through layers of security, exploiting vulnerabilities and leaving no trace of his presence. He downloaded proprietary software, internal documents, and anything else that caught his interest. The data he acquired was a treasure trove of information, giving him insights into DEC's operations and technology. Mitnick's intrusion into DEC's systems was a turning point. It marked the beginning of a new phase in his hacking career. No longer content with small-time hacks, Mitnick set his sights on bigger, more ambitious targets. The thrill of the chase and the satisfaction of outsmarting sophisticated security systems became his driving force. Each successful hack was a testament to his growing expertise and a challenge to find the next, even more formidable target. It was no longer just about pranks or proving his technical prowess. Mitnick's actions had real-world consequences, affecting companies and individuals alike. The line between harmless fun and serious crime blurred as he delved deeper into the world of corporate espionage. His hacks were no longer just a test of skill, they had the potential to cause significant financial and reputational damage. Mitnick was aware of the risks, but the allure of the digital underground was too strong to resist. He had crossed the line into corporate espionage, attracting the attention of law enforcement. The authorities were becoming increasingly aware of the growing threat posed by hackers like Mitnick. Cybersecurity was still in its infancy, and companies were ill-prepared to defend against such sophisticated attacks. Law enforcement agencies began to take notice, launching investigations and tracking down the perpetrators. Mitnick's activities had put him squarely in their crosshairs. In 1988, the FBI caught up with Mitnick, arresting him for his hacking activities. The arrest was a dramatic culmination of months of investigation and surveillance. Mitnick was taken into custody, his computers and equipment seized as evidence. The media quickly picked up the story, painting Mitnick as a notorious cybercriminal. For the first time, the public became aware of the shadowy world of hacking and the individuals who operated within it. He was charged with computer fraud and abuse, facing his first taste of legal trouble. The courtroom was a stark contrast to the digital world Mitnick was accustomed to. He stood before the judge, facing serious charges that could result in significant prison time. The legal proceedings were a wake-up call, highlighting the gravity of his actions and the potential consequences. Mitnick's hacking career had taken a dangerous turn, and he was now paying the price. The arrest was a wake-up call, but it did little to deter Mitnick's fascination with hacking. Even behind bars, his mind was constantly at work, thinking of new ways to exploit systems and outsmart security measures. The prison cell became a place of reflection and planning. Mitnick used the time to study, read, and strategize. His passion for hacking remained undiminished, and he was determined to continue his digital adventures once he was free. After serving a year in prison, he was released on probation, but his digital adventures were far from over. Mitnick emerged from prison with a renewed sense of purpose. The experience had only strengthened his resolve to push the boundaries of cybersecurity. He was more determined than ever to stay ahead of the authorities and continue his exploration of the digital world. The probation period was a minor inconvenience, a temporary obstacle in his quest for knowledge and mastery. Mitnick's time behind bars had only fueled his desire to test the limits of cybersecurity and outsmart the authorities. He devoured books on hacking, programming, and cybersecurity, absorbing as much information as he could. The prison library became his sanctuary, a place where he could immerse himself in the world of technology. Mitnick's mind was a sponge, soaking up knowledge and preparing for the day he could put it to use. His determination to stay one step ahead of the law was unwavering. He was determined to stay one step ahead of the law, disappearing into the digital underground and honing his skills in the shadows. Mitnick's journey was far from over. The digital underground was a vast, uncharted territory, and he was ready to explore it to its fullest. With each passing day, his skills grew sharper, his strategies more refined. Mitnick was a master of his craft, always looking for the next challenge, the next system to breach. The cat-and-mouse game with law enforcement continued, but Mitnick was confident in his ability to stay ahead. The digital world was his domain, and he was determined to remain its undisputed ruler. The early 1990s marked the beginning of Mitnick's most notorious chapter. He became a digital phantom, evading the FBI while continuing his hacking spree. Mitnick's targets were no longer limited to corporations. He set his sights on individuals, including computer security expert Tsutomu Shimomura. Mitnick's pursuit of Shimomura was personal. He saw Shimomura as a worthy adversary, a challenge to his skills and reputation. He broke into Shimomura's computer systems, stealing files and leaving taunting messages. This digital cat-and-mouse game escalated, with Shimomura vowing to bring Mitnick to justice. Mitnick's hacking exploits were not just about personal gain or revenge. He saw himself as a digital explorer testing the boundaries of technology and exposing security flaws. He believed that by exposing vulnerabilities he was doing the world a favor, forcing companies and organizations to improve their cybersecurity practices. However, his methods were illegal and often destructive, causing significant damage and raising serious ethical concerns. As Mitnick's notoriety grew, so did the pressure on the FBI to apprehend him. His hacking skills were legendary, and his ability to infiltrate some of the most secure systems in the world made him a high-profile target. The FBI knew that capturing Mitnick would not only stop his illegal activities but also send a strong message to other hackers. The agency launched a massive manhunt, tracking his digital footprints across the country. They used advanced technology to monitor his online activities, hoping to find a pattern or a clue that would lead them to his physical location. The digital map they created was a complex web of connections, showing every move Mitnick made in the cyber world. Mitnick's ability to cover his tracks and disappear into the digital ether made him a formidable adversary. He used a variety of techniques to hide his identity and location, including using multiple aliases and constantly changing his IP address. His knowledge of computer systems and networks was unparalleled, making it extremely difficult for the FBI to catch him. The media frenzy surrounding Mitnick's exploits only added to the pressure. News outlets across the country were fascinated by the story of the elusive hacker, and they reported on every new development in the case. The public was captivated by the idea of a lone individual who could outsmart the authorities and wreak havoc from behind a computer screen. He was portrayed as a master criminal, a digital outlaw who could bring down entire systems with a few keystrokes. This image was both a blessing and a curse for Mitnick. On one hand, it made him a legend in the hacking community, but on the other hand, it made him the #1 target for law enforcement agencies around the world. The reality was more nuanced, but the public perception of Mitnick as a cyber bogeyman made him a prime target for law enforcement. While he did have extraordinary skills, he was not the malevolent figure that the media often portrayed. Many in the hacking community saw him as a pioneer, someone who pushed the boundaries of what was possible with technology. Mitnick's hacking spree came to an end in 1995 when he was finally captured by the FBI. The arrest was the culmination of years of investigation and surveillance. The FBI had to be meticulous in their approach, ensuring that they had enough evidence to not only arrest Mitnick, but also to secure a conviction in court. He was arrested in Raleigh, North Carolina, after a 2-week manhunt that captivated the nation. The operation involved multiple law enforcement agencies and required careful coordination and planning. The moment of his arrest was a significant event, marking the end of one of the most high-profile hacking cases in history. Mitnick's capture was a major victory for law enforcement, but it also sparked a debate about the nature of cybercrime and the appropriate punishment for hackers. Some argued that Mitnick's actions, while illegal, were a form of protest against the increasing control of information by corporations and governments. Others believed that his activities posed a serious threat to national security and deserved severe punishment. The case highlighted the complexities of cybercrime and the challenges of police